or does it have some literal interpretation as well beyond the poetry, right? So this language does require interpretation. Who's qualified to make that interpretation? Some random guy on the internet? Like, not me, that's for sure. So the Bible acknowledges that some passages are more difficult to interpret or to understand, and that readers can distort or mishandle the meaning. So proper guidance, study, discernment, and authority is required. The Deuterocanon, containing books not in the Protestant Bible, provides scriptural support for Catholic doctrines that is not shared by Protestants. So repeating that, the Deuterocanon, right, what the Protestants, what Martin Luther called the Apocrypha, and tossed it out, and we'll get into that, they have certain scriptural support for Catholic doctrines. And this is one of the main reasons that they had to go from the Bible, because it contradicted the Protestants. So yet both churches, the Protestants and the Catholics, claim to follow the Bible. Well, which Bible? How much of the Bible? Which part of the Bible did you get rid of? Which books did you change? What are you not listening to? So yeah, when you say the Bible, are you talking about the Bible with 100 pages or the Bible with 200 pages? The one where you deleted 100 pages, or the Bible with the 200 pages, which is the original, it seems like? That's a critical question to ask, okay? So this demonstrates the need to establish which Bible is being followed and why. Details matter. So I follow the Bible is not coherent or compelling as a defense of a particular theological position or denomination. We have to articulate what the principles of interpretation are. We have to consider historical interpretations. What did the early church fathers say? Well, we know for a fact that Martin Luther said, don't listen to the church fathers no matter who. And that would assumedly include Peter, Paul, and a bunch of guys known as the apostles. Okay? And we need to look at the biblical canon, and we need to reconcile ambiguities and disagreements, right? Who does that? Some guy on his own, right? So you have to demonstrate how and why a particular interpretation is sound. So this means that it's not just your opinion. You can't just assert things. You have to give a reason, a bunch of reasons for why your interpretation is solid. Someone asked about, would I do stuff on how to interpret that? I have thought about that. But also don't forget that I've already did, if you look at my theological series, that actually covers how some of the interpretations are done. I do cover some of that in theological to explain how the Catholic Church did the interpretations utilizing the methodology that they did. And how, when you look at my Calvin series, Calvin was just making it up as he went. It's because he had voices, literally just voices. Deuterocanon has no exclusive doctrines, only additional support to doctrines found elsewhere. I mean, yeah, we'll have to get into that another day. Peter may be a blessing, strictly warned that when he was gone, the wolves would come. Exactly. The death of the 12 ushered in the era of apostasy and bobbing for apples. Yeah, exactly. Is the actual Pope interpretation of any passage worth following? So look, guys, let's not get into that right now. I don't want to get into that, because one thing that I have determined in the last couple of months is that Catholics are badly catechized. Honestly, from me having read the catechisms, or at least portions of the Catholic Catechism, reading through the magisterial documents, reading through papal encyclicals, Catholics are making it up as they go, left and right. The majority of Catholics I've seen have no clue how the Catholic Church functions, and are like, I like page 5 of the Baltimore Catechism. It's got things that says that I like, and then there's the Council of Trent. Page 3 is awesome. I like page 3. I don't like those other pages, but I like page 3. And then Pius's Catechism, page 19 is awesome. I like that. And then Father Dave Nix, he says things that I like. And then everyone else, I don't like that. Oh, I don't like those doctrines. Oh, no. I'll just go with those. Nonsense. Absolute trash. Okay? I'm hearing that all the time from Catholics. Okay? I might be joking about it, but that is a fact. I see that all the time. Okay? So I like page 5 of the Catechism. I don't like the other 1,032 pages. But those 5 pages are okay with me. And you're a Protestant, buddy. Just admit it. You're not a Catholic. You're a Protestant. You're just making it up as you go. And the sad part is that if you look at what the Pope, that's sometimes called the Hammer of Heretics, Pope Pius X, he warned about Catholics like you. You are the problem Catholics that he wrote about. And you are exactly the problem that Pius X said you are the problem. And we'll talk about that when I get to Pius X. So, okay. So, yeah. So, guys, let's continue. Which Bible did you say? So the Catholic Biblical Canon has 73 books. Luther had 75 books, which is kind of weird. And now the Protestants have 66 books. Mr. Rock says, I agree. I'm from majority Catholic countries. Our priests communicate the faith badly, and our religious education is abysmal. Yeah, I get it all. CMB, welcome. Good to see you. Okay, so now, the early church fathers, written records, and the Septuagint, which is the early Greek translation of the Old Testament, all provide evidence that the Catholic canon of 73 books was accepted early in Christian history. George. I'm so sorry, George. We already have enough morphs in Cape Town. Maar George, ek sit nie naar in Kaapenaar. Sorry. Oh boy, George, sorry about that. Okay, so what you've got is the church fathers, okay, the records of the church fathers, their statements, all the written records, the Septuagint, all show that the Catholic canon of 73 books was accepted early in Christian history. There were multiple councils that confirmed this, right? The Deuterocanon, those books in the Catholic Bible, but that are not in the Protestant Bible, are quoted and referenced in the New Testament. Early Christians considered these books scriptural. Now I'm going to go through this with you. I'm going to introduce you guys to this, and yeah, I hope I haven't upset like a million of you already. So, okay, this is a site called scripturecatholic.com, Deuterocanonical-books-new-testament. I'm going to drop this in the chat so you guys can, I'll do it like a couple of times in a row. Okay, so there it is. I've dropped it 3 times. Okay, so you can click on that link. These are the quotes from the Deuterocanon, what Martin Luther insultingly called the Apocrypha, effectively calling it fake news, okay? When Martin Luther renamed the Deuterocanon to the Apocrypha, it basically became fake news. He's saying, yeah, that's kind of, yeah, nonsense, right? So, and then I've had Protestants tell me, but Martin Luther kept it in his Bible. What do you mean, Lloyd? You're a liar. You're a liar, Lloyd. You're a disgusting liar. Martin Luther kept it in his Bible. Yeah, he stuck it in the back, okay, hoping no one would get that far. And he called it the Apocrypha by insulting it. And then when you read the stuff that Martin Luther has to say about the Bible, good grief. Martin Luther, Mr. Sola Scriptura, hated the Bible. Martin Luther took a fat dump on the Bible on a routine basis. When you read what Martin Luther had to say about the Bible, you'd go like, this guy hates this book. Okay? So, yeah. But on this point, Deuterocanonical books in the New Testament. Now have a look here.